Hi Capricorn, welcome to your end of October 2019 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So at the end of October, we're going to have a new moon in Scorpio. And this is actually happening on October 27th at 4 degrees of Scorpio. So for a lot of you, this will be actually in the 10th house, if I'm not mistaken. I'm always like kind of confused about, trying to figure this out in my mind, but I'm thinking the only people that it's really going to be in the 11th house are people that are born, within the first few degrees of Capricorn, sun or rising. These readings that I do, these tarot readings, are usually for the sun signs. I'm usually not intending it for the moon or the rising sign. But I know some people do watch for that. And so when I give astrological information, it's really meant to be more for the sun and the rising. And so for some of you, this could be like a boost to your career. For a lot of you, in other words, but in the 11th house, this is the house of hopes and wishes, so this could bring new opportunities in those areas as well, or new friendships forged, or group associations. Two major arcana cards so far. That's amazing. Well, is there anything else that is so important that you're getting all these major arcana cards? Major arcana cards can indicate a lot of change. Wow. A lot of, the kind of important events rather than just the mundane everyday events. The Heart of the Matter is a card that I always associate with you. It's supposed to be associated with Aries, the Emperor. This is the Wild Unknown Tarot deck, by the way. I chose it for this reading because it has kind of a gothic feel to me. At least some of the cards are really kind of like intense in that way. And I thought it would be perfect for Halloween and stuff like that. But anyway, the Emperor is a card as an individual. I think it's possible that the Emperor could be like a judge or a person who has to decide an issue and use their wisdom, their whatever you call it, their professional prowess or whatever to make a decision. But the other careers I have seen it mentioned were law enforcement and military, because I guess even with a judge, there's like this strict rules in life, and that's what the judge operates under. So the judge tends to be an authoritarian figure, and that's one of the reasons why I associated with Capricorn, because I kind of associate Capricorn in that way as well. And kind of like there's right and wrong, there's black and white, and that's just how it is. And the Emperor, if this is a person in your life, there might be a power clash between you and this person if this is somebody else and this is not you. If this is you, you might be operating with a lot of rigidity and being a control freak, and that is creating problems either in the workplace or in your private life. However, you could be the recipient of this type of treatment, and maybe you resent it and you're even kind of pushing back on it. In the past position, we have the Strength card. And in this deck, it's interesting. This is number 11. I still don't know why the Strength card and the Justice card in some decks are the opposite numbers. In the Rider-Waite deck, the Strength card is number 8, and then the Justice card is number 11, but in some decks it's the opposite. In this deck, the Justice card is number 8. So the Strength card is connected to sometimes inner strength, where you're enduring something. Sometimes it can be that you're kind of coming into your own. If you're involved with somebody who is a control freak, if the Emperor is somebody who has taken control of the household or the situation and created almost like a tyranny, and you allowed it, and now you're starting to wake up from that delusion, or maybe that person is a narcissist, and now you get it. Before, you just were operating on automatic. And I think to the outside world, a lot of people don't get it, don't understand how that can happen, but it really does go back to a person's childhood. And if they're used to something, it doesn't feel weird. To other people who haven't been through it, they're like, how could you take it? How could you stand for that? And the person who's a victim of a narcissist says, because it wasn't anything different than when I was a child. I mean, it just felt like really normal to be treated like that. And then I realized it was escalating, and then also I realized I didn't deserve it, just like I didn't deserve it in childhood. But it took me a long time. In some cases it takes people 10, 20 years to really wake up and see what has been done to them. But once they wake up, they can, take charge. It's amazing what people can do. And I think, especially with Capricorns, because you're a cardinal sign, so you're the kind of person who does take action. You're not going to sit there and just talk about something. But it is possible that you don't know something until you know it, until you realize it. And then when you do, it's like you're on it. You're on the case. And you're ready to move on with your life. The higher message is the Hermit card. This can mean, I love this particular card too. The Hermit is connected to the inner light, to kind of getting in touch with their higher self, in other words, or just spending time alone. I think some people don't understand what it means, why the archetype of the hermit or the monk, why they're always featured alone. And that's because they're listening to a still small voice within themselves. It doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter what their opinions are on your situation. They may be interesting opinions, they may be wise opinions or advice, but the problem is that it's coming from somebody else's life experience that may not be really what is appropriate for you. It doesn't mean you can never listen to anybody else's take on your situation, though. But it may mean that right now it's more important for you to tune into yourself, into your intuition, so that you know exactly what moves to make. Because the Emperor, if this person's a control freak, they may pull out all the stops, and you may have to really be careful about how you pull back from them. It may be, as a spiritual message, it may be saying that until you can get alone, you won't be able to think straight. So you may devise some ways to be able to spend time by yourself, so that you can really tune into what your needs are, what your true needs are. And also to strategize if that's what you need to do. Also, one other thing is some people are afraid of being alone, and they think that it means, it says something negative about them. And that's the kind of thing that will keep people trapped in bad relationships. What will so-and-so think about this? You know, what will my friends think, or my family? And it's like, if you're worried about what other people think of you, then you're really going to be at the mercy of other people and not be the captain of your own ship. What crosses you is the Father of Pentacles. This could be the other party, unless it's your own father, or a boss. Can be the King of Pentacles. I don't know how a boss would figure into this, but unless you're having an affair with your boss, and that's going to affect your job, I guess, or some other supervisor, you know, somebody who's in a position of authority. But maybe this person that I'm talking about is the father of your children, and you know that they're going to use that identity, or whatever you want to call it, as an excuse to remain in your life, or to try to control you even beyond that. Because that's what narcissism is all about, is control. And it's about the other person being an energy vampire and trying to create negativity because that's what they feed off of. And that's one of the reasons why it's so important not to feed into their need for drama. And if you are trying to get away from somebody who you happen to share a child with, there are things that you can do to, you know, make sure that you're not exposed to this person if you don't want to be. And you need to, like, research those, and you know, if you need to call someone that's an expert, you should do that, because it can make all the difference when you're trying to maybe start a new life for yourself. Again, like I said before, you have all of these major arcana cards. I only picked 6 cards, and 4 of them were major arcana cards. And I was saying, oh, start your life over again. I thought, well, that's weird. Why would Capricorn, there's no cards here about starting your life again. Oh, yeah? What about the first card in the deck, the Fool card? And, I mean, this doesn't even have to be in this time frame. Capricorn, you are having a solar eclipse happening on Christmas Day or the day after. And that's one of the times, you know, the Christmas time is right by the winter solstice, and it's kind of like the rebirth, at least in the, you know, the northern hemisphere, from dark to light, that the darkest day of the year, till, you know, getting lighter. And so you may be experiencing or about to have that solar eclipse in your sign, and that will, you know, give you a new lease on life, new experiences. And the only thing that is possibly problematic in that is that that's not until the end of December, and we are in October. So perhaps, I mean, and you know, you can have a rebirth any day, but I mean, if there is some kind of like truth with that timing of the end of December, between now and then, perhaps this is the time to do a lot of soul searching, like the Hermit card represents. Whether or not you actually are, by, you know, living by yourself, or excuse me, still living with somebody, still, you know, take some time to really assess where you are and where you want to be. And the outcome is the Son of Pentacles, which translates to the Knight of Pentacles. And this is a card associated with, you know, Pentacles is earth energy, like what you represent. But this card specifically is associated with Taurus. And it's a card of just being a workhorse. So just like working hard, working consistently, maybe with a financial goal in mind. Maybe this is so that you can save enough money to live on your own, or to, to be able to move out, or to whatever it is that you need to do to be independent. And also, at the same time, I think that this is something that Capricorns do quite well, is to find something productive to do, because you are doers. When certain other things, maybe you're waiting to have that clarity to be able to, fully make a decision about, that you are still doing something productive that's going to enhance your life regardless, which, working will certainly do for you. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn. I hope that you receive something positive from this, and if you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.